obviously you guys have been through some ups and some downs, but still together. So what is the secret here?
What you would say the secret is? What you think?
I mean, the secret would be you got to understand you're going to deal with a lot of criticism from people telling you how you should be in a relationship. And I don't think people understand me and Rasheeda have been married 25 years. First of all, we best friends. We're friends first. And, we could talk about a lot of things, but you got to have a friendship and you got to understand everything ain't going to be perfect. Talk to your grandma, your grandpops, and figure out how these relationships make it, because it's about a team here. You need I always say you need a day and a night. You need a plus and a minus. So it's the team. Yeah, so it's like a team thing, and that's what we do. We work as a team, I get beat up a lot, but it is what it is.
Recently, Kirk shared on Instagram that he was going through a lot of pain, and it didn't take long for rumors to start swirling. Word on the street is that things have gotten worse for him. Reports say he is now in the hospital and doctors are worried about his condition, even fearing he might not make it. In the midst of this, some inside sources have revealed that Kirk made a request for Rasheeda to be by his side. He apparently hopes to make amends for all the hurt he's caused her over the years. But this decision has not been taken well by Jasmine, who's reportedly furious about Kirk's choice to have Rasheeda there instead of her. It seems like we're in for yet another drama-filled situation. Not long ago, Kirk posted a video on his Instagram showing some improvement after a period of discomfort. The caption read something along the lines of being grateful for feeling better. Many fans were relieved to see he was doing better, considering how severe the pain had seemed. However, others weren't so convinced. Some worried that the issue was more serious than it appeared, suggesting that Kirk should see his doctor for further tests to avoid any possible complications. Doctors had mentioned surgery before, and it looks like they may have been right, because the situation has taken a turn for the worse. Kirk is now hospitalized, and people are starting to whisper that his condition might be more serious than they initially thought. According to eyewitnesses, things have gotten so bad that Kirk himself requested Rasheeda to be with him in the hospital. Insiders claim that he wants her there, not only because he's seriously ill, but also because he hopes to make peace with her after all the hurt he's caused her over the years. If, by any chance, he doesn't make it, he wants to find some peace with her by his side. This is Kirk's way of seeking closure, or at least that's what it seems like. But this decision hasn't gone down well with Jasmine, who's reportedly furious. She's been telling anyone who will listen how ungrateful Kirk is for choosing Rasheeda over her, especially after everything that's happened. In my opinion, I can't help but feel that Kirk is showing a side of himself that doesn't make him look great. If it takes a health scare like this to finally realize the damage he's done to Rasheeda and acknowledge that he needs her by his side, it really makes you wonder. He and Rasheeda have been married for over 2 decades, and throughout all those years, he has cheated on her, humiliated her publicly, and shown her little respect. We all know how Jasmine came into the picture, how Kirk became so comfortable with betraying Rasheeda to the point of getting Jasmine pregnant. Many of us remember the tense moment when Jasmine, Kirk, and Rasheeda sat down to talk about co-parenting her son. During that conversation, Kirk made a comment that seemed flirtatious after Rasheeda stood up, which suggested that he might still be involved with Jasmine on some level behind the scenes. It didn't help his case when Jasmine later revealed that she hadn't deleted the messages between her and Kirk, which made it clear she had some serious dirt on him. It wasn't long before Jasmine spilled the tea. She crashed an event where both Rasheeda and Kirk were present, and she brought with her all the receipts to expose Kirk's actions. To make matters worse, Kirk didn't take responsibility for his actions. Instead of owning up to his mistakes, he tried to paint himself as the victim in the situation. He's been telling everyone who will listen that he's been unhappy in his marriage with Rasheeda for a long time, and that his affair with Jasmine was just an escape from all the problems he was facing at home. What's really frustrating is that, even with all this drama, Kirk is still trying to play the victim. He's telling anyone who will listen that the issues in his marriage with Rasheeda were the reason he sought comfort elsewhere. Instead of trying to fix things with Rasheeda when they first started to fall apart, he chose to cheat and humiliate her. Now, after everything, he wants to make amends while he's in a hospital bed, hoping that Rasheeda will be there to forgive him. It's difficult to understand Kirk's reasoning. How does a person go from constantly hurting someone to suddenly wanting to make things right, especially when so much damage has already been done? Rasheeda deserves more than just an apology at a time like this. She deserves respect and honesty. And Jasmine, for her part, isn't backing down either. She feels betrayed by the fact that Kirk is asking for Rasheeda's forgiveness while continuing to act like the victim. It's clear that there's a lot of unresolved tension between all three of them. What's even more concerning is that Kirk seems to have learned nothing from his past mistakes. It seems like he's only realizing now how badly he treated Rasheeda, but that realization is coming far too late. If he truly cared about making things right with her, he should have done so long before it got to this point. Instead, he allowed things to spiral into a situation where betrayal, anger, and hurt are still at the center of everything. It's hard to say what will happen next. Kirk's health is a serious concern, and there's still uncertainty about whether he'll recover from this. But what's even more uncertain is whether he and Rasheeda will ever be able to find peace after all that's happened. For now, it seems like the drama continues to unfold, and there are no easy answers in sight. Whatever the outcome, it's clear that Kirk has a lot of making up to do if he truly wants to repair the damage he's caused. But whether Rasheeda will be willing to forgive him after everything remains to be seen. A few days later, Kirk decided to separate from Rasheeda, and sources shared that he reached out to his lawyer to get advice on how to proceed with a divorce. In my opinion, Rasheeda played a role in allowing Kirk to treat her poorly because she had the choice to leave, but she chose to stay. Instead of walking away, she made it clear to Kirk that she was committed to keeping their family together. She publicly expressed that she wasn't going anywhere. In an interview with Essence, Rasheeda shared her thoughts on this, saying, "A lot of times, people who speak on my situation could never walk in my shoes. Many women haven't even been in a relationship for 5 minutes, let alone 20 years. So, they can't judge the choices I make. At the end of the day, it's my life. I don't let anyone's opinion influence me. All I did was pray and follow my heart. If people don't like what I do, they don't have to follow me, and they don't need to comment on my Instagram. What you deal with might be something I wouldn't handle the same way, but that's not for me to tell you how to live your life." Rasheeda continued, saying that one reason their marriage has lasted is because Kirk had made a major change in his behavior. She said, "He made a 360. I went through a very dark period because of everything that happened. It wasn't easy for me, and it took a lot for him to realize that he needed me back in his life. It wasn't until Kirk was hospitalized that he finally realized how important Rasheeda was to him, and that's when he wanted to have her by his side again. But this decision didn't sit well with Jasmine, who was furious. She started telling anyone who would listen about what Kirk had done to her. Sources revealed that Kirk had even spoken about the possibility of marrying Jasmine after his divorce from Rasheeda was finalized. So, when he asked Rasheeda to return, it broke Jasmine's heart. But as the saying goes, you lose them the way you gain them. Let's not forget that this is Kirk we're talking about. He knows exactly how to handle both Rasheeda and Jasmine. While we all hope Kirk recovers quickly, one thing is certain: things are going to get very messy between Jasmine and Rasheeda. Fans were talking about the situation, with many commenting, "I don't get why Jasmine keeps playing the victim. Having a baby with a married man comes with consequences." Jasmine knew he was married, and expecting him to take responsibility for something he was allowed to do is part of those consequences. Rasheeda deserves so much better. If Kirk passes away, she'll need to move on and live without him. She should let him go. Who needs that kind of disrespectful man around? She deserves happiness and love, and it's not with Kirk. She's too beautiful to be weighed down by that kind of drama. Kirk is with Rasheeda when he's sober, but he's with Jasmine when he's drunk. So, what do you think? Should Rasheeda forgive Kirk for everything he's done to her and stay by his side while he's in the hospital? Or should she walk away since he chose to be with Jasmine over her? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And after that, make sure to check out the next video.